Good morning to everyone. Today I am going to present my views on COVID 19 and migrants, lessons for India. Before entering to the topic, I would like to thank the organizing committee, Department of Tribal Studies, Central University of Jharkhand, for giving me an opportunity. So, at the time of COVID 19, we have faced number of issues. We faced health issues, we faced economic issues, then transportation problem, education, psychological issues. So we have come across various problems at the time of COVID-19. But the problem is still severe in the case of migrant laborers. So if you go through the data of 2001 and 2011 census, the migrant laborers has increased from 390 millions to 450 million. That to 2011 statistics. If you take the case of 2020, then still it will be more. So we could see there is a huge number of migrant laborers within the state and outside the state. So when all of a sudden the government announced this lockdown on 24th March 2020, that is for 21 days, the government planned everything, but it has left the migrant laborers and it did not take the issue as a serious. So what said sudden there was a lockdown was announced, the migrant laborers they spent some 4 or 5 days and they have planned to move from where they are working to their own states so that they can meet out their basic demands, as there is no employment opportunity, no salary, so they have planned like that. So there is a push factor and pull factor for the migrant laborers to shift to their own native places. If you take the push factors, high cost of living in urban region and no salary, no work. So because of all these factors they have planned, and also they did not have an idea about when the lockdown will come to an end. So all these factors pushed them towards to their own state. If you take the case of pull factors, what they planned is if we go to our own native place, we can meet their family members. Not only that, they will get some agriculture employment from agriculture and employment from Manrega. So keeping all this perspective, they have planned to move towards their own state. So if you see this reverse migration among the 4 states, n number of migrant laborers have moved. That is from Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan. From all these 4 states, majority of the migrants have moved to their own states. If you take the case of Gujarat, 8.13 lakh people, they have moved towards Uttar Pradesh from Gujarat. Next is the Bihar, 3.5 lakh. So altogether if you take around 11.7 lakh people, they have moved from Gujarat to Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. If you take the case of Maharashtra, around 6.84 lakh migrant laborers they have moved to Uttar Pradesh and 2.66 lakh people have moved to Bihar. So in the case of Tamil Nadu, the Bihar people, 1.36 lakh people they have moved to Bihar from the Tamil Nadu. Similarly, Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, both Bihar and Uttar Pradesh are more in numbers. They have moved from Rajasthan. So we could understand that in among the 4 states, the migrant laborers were high. That too, the migrants were from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. All these people, they have without transportation, they have started to move from all these states. and the employment rate was high in the urban region as compared to the rural region areas. So rural people, they managed, they got some employment opportunity from the agriculture. But in case of urban region, it was complete lockdown, and there was a huge unemployment rate at the time of lockdown period alone. After this lockdown was relaxed, then slowly it has come down. Similarly, the labor force participation. In case of rural area, it was somewhat better, but in urban region, it is too less. So, in particular, the urban migrants, they face a huge issues, and all this data reveals that migrants have suffered, and as they have moved for employment, when there is no employment, what they will do? This is what happened. So, when they have started to move from other states to their own state, they have went by walking, lifting the luggage and lifting their kids. They have moved a long distance. Some people, they have crossed some 1,000 kilometers, 500 kilometers. They have went by walk. And one girl took her father in a bicycle from Bihar to Haryana. So these are the various news. And another thing is around 350 people, they have died at the time of traveling to their own states. So all these issues was shared by the media. Then some lawyers, they filed a case in Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said that on May 28th, the government, state government as well as central government, has to report what they have taken action against the migrant laborers. That's what provision they have rendered to them. So on 5th June, once again, the court directed to produce the details of transportation of the governments and identification of the migrants and records of returning and giving counseling to them. These are the directions given by the Supreme Court. So after that, there was some change. But one thing we have to understand: government aim is not to hurt the migrant laborers. Actually, they have not planned this will happen. So we cannot blame the government. Thing is, this is the first time we are facing a huge lockdown. So we did not plan. So accordingly, then government took various measures, relief measures. They have given various relief measures to the migrant laborers. For relief measures alone, 11,000 crores they have given to the migrant laborers, and they have brought one nation, one ration card. These are the support they rendered, and our government supported a lot. If you take in total, 21 lakh crore was spent at the time of COVID-19 period. So the government has taken various measures, and also it said you can for 80 crore poor people, they said you can get 5 kg of rice or 5 kg of maize for 3 periods, 3 months. So they have done something, and also they have increased the salary of the Manrega from 182 rupees to 202 rupees. So these are the measures the government has taken towards the migrant issue, and we need not to worry about that. So as a whole, they have spent around 21 lakh crore, and for migrant alone, it is 11,000 crore, and some other supports like giving free food and other measures they have taken. So this is what the government has done for the migrant laborers. Now the question is, so where we failed? Why this has happened? Why we did not think about the migrant laborers? Where we have failed, whether in policy or whether in government's role, where we have failed? The reason is, before analyzing those aspects, better it is we can check of what the regulation or legislation speaks about the migrant laborers. If you take the country India, in 1979, we have brought Interstate Migrant Workers Act in 1979. What that act says, if a company is going to recruit or a contractor is going to recruit a employee or a worker from other states, they have to record those details of the individual. Then it has to produce those details to the government. Then the employer must ensure the migrant laborers are getting good salary, then good accommodation, good food, everything has to be analyzed. Then not only that, it speaks about accommodation, free medical facilities and everything. So in 1979 itself, we have a clear-cut idea about the migrant laborers, how the migrant laborers has to be safeguarded. But what has happened? We have failed to document those issues, those aspects. We do not have the records of migrant laborers throughout the country. Even though the regulation in 1979 says that you have to document everything. In case if you have documented those aspects, then at the time of this lockdown, we might have taken those data and we can direct them easily and we can control them. We might have done something. And after that, we provided transportation, railway facilities, everything. But where we have failed? So the Act says in 1979 itself to have the data of the migrant laborers, but we have failed to record all those details. That is very important. Based on the company where they are working, everything has to be documented. Here we have failed. And a report says that Standing Committee on Labor observed that migrant workers under this Act was low and implementation of protections was poor. I am not telling. Government report, Standing Committee report says that the Act was not established strongly. So there we have failed. And also that that report has concluded that government had not made any concrete and fruitful efforts. So we have all the rules, regulations, acts, everything. But only thing is we have failed to enact those acts. Because of lack of enactment of those acts, the migrant laborers have suffered a lot. So what lesson we get from this is, so when we have the statistics of our own country regard to migrant laborers, regard to poverty or employment, everything, when you have a clear-cut data, then accordingly we can proceed further. But in the case of COVID-19 and migrant laborers issue, we do not have data, and we did not announce, we did not had a measure or a policy to protect those employees, those workers. So those migrants, they have suffered a lot, and there was a need to intervene of the Supreme Court, and we could see the problem they faced is severe as compared to us. So this is what we learn, and from this what we have to get as a lesson is we must get a data of all the migrant laborers throughout the country, and we must make that when an employer is recruiting the migrant laborers, they must have a clear data where they are working, what is their gender, whether they are with the households or individuals. Everything has to be ensured, whether they are access they are to the healthcare system, they are having good water and other infrastructure facilities. Everything has to be confirmed, so that in future if we face such a problem, then we can overcome the problems that we faced at the time of COVID-19. So we have to have a data, and we must provide a good healthcare and housing to them. And if everything is made, then we can be free from all those issues. But where do we fail? We have good idea, good laws, good enactments, everything, but we fail in those aspects. So my suggestion to this issue is the government has to strictly enact what it has brought for the welfare of the people, so that we can manage issues like this, the migrant issues, and we can be a better we can provide a better support for all, irrespective of migrant or other employee. This is what my humble request. And based on the development of the economy, as we nowadays we have Aadhaar cards, and as we speak about one nation, one ration card, we can have the data, and we can based on this details, and we can upload those details of migrant laborers and other information as also as required, so that we can safeguard the people. So with this I stop here, and I thank the organizing committee for giving me a wonderful opportunity. Thank you.